On today's episode of Warehouse Safety Tips, we're going to be talking about rack safety, so stay tuned. Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. If you're a seasoned vodcast viewer, this vodcast is going to be different from most that you watch. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money, so each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the vodcast. If you work in a warehouse or any facility with racking systems, you need to know that rack safety is of the utmost importance. So even though you're going to have possible regulations and rules at your specific location, here are 5 things that'll get you started well on your way to good rack safety. The very first thing we want to talk about is load capacity labels. Making sure that when you're in the racks, you know exactly what that rack can handle so far as the width, the depth, the height, and the weight of what you're trying to put on it. So make sure that you know that and that you follow the rules. It's absolutely vital. The second thing that we want to talk about is going to be regular inspections of the racks, making sure that there aren't big dents, rusted out areas, places that are broken, just anything that could possibly control or have an effect on the stability of the racks themselves, because you just don't want to put your people or your product or anything around it in any sort of danger. So make sure that you know all that, and if you see something, you say something and alert the people that can shut down the rack and do repairs and or just go in and replace anything that is not up to the absolute standards. The third thing is going to be stacking techniques. So making sure that you know the not only weight again of the item that you're stacking, but make sure that you're putting heavier items at the bottom to avoid tipping of the cargo that you're putting on. And then the next thing, number 4, is going to be being very aware of your surroundings. So when you're driving a lift truck, or you have especially forks out, and or you're extending your lift truck up to higher levels, you want to make sure that you know exactly what's going on around you, because you don't want to accidentally hit the rack, you don't want to hit product, you don't want to hit people for sure, but then also you don't want other people hitting you. So it's very important that if you're supposed to close off racks, or if you're supposed to have horns sounding or beepers that are going off, that everything is in exact working order, that you know your space and that people know what's around them as well when they're coming towards you. You don't want someone to whip into a rack and hit you when you're extended. That could cause just all sorts of issues. So make sure that you know your surroundings. And even though we don't mention it specifically in the article, when you're going up with a lift truck, make sure that you know about things like pipes, doorways, and sprinkler systems, and that you don't hit any of those things, because especially in the form of pipes, lighting, and or sprinkler systems, you can cause a issue that may not be able to be handled by anybody other than like maintenance, and it could just cause all sorts of issues. So make sure that you are very, very aware of your surroundings. Last but not least, something we always say, and we try to always make this the last of any list, and that is training. Make sure that everybody knows the above issues that we just talked about, as well as those specific rules and regulations that might be, again, specific to your location. That is going to be something that is going to be absolutely paramount in making sure that everybody goes home safe at night, and that your racks, product, people, and just everything around in that area of racking is safe. Keep in mind that a well-trained staff is your first offense, or first defense, sorry about that, in making sure that everything is right. So thank you very much for being part of another episode of Warehouse Safety Tips. Make sure that you go out there, stay safe, and here is a word from one of our sponsors.
It's scientifically unexplainable. It's virtually indestructible. And it's taking over the entire planet. But in a really good way. It's Mighty Line Floor Tape, the most durable floor tape in the world. 7 times thicker than average floor tape. Beveled to endure pounding warehouse traffic. And backed with a super strong peel and stick adhesive, so you'll never have to worry about painting shop floors again. Mighty Line Floor Tape, the only durable stripe.